Hey there. Welcome to an unboxing. I'm going to unbox Live Evil today, Black Sabbath's box set from a little over a year ago, I guess now. Um, yeah, just got that. And it's interesting because today is May 16th, which I had no idea, but it's the 15th anniversary of Ronnie James Dio's passing. So on this anniversary of his death, we're opening a live album. So that's pretty interesting. Anyway, yeah, I'm doing this because it's purple adjacent. This is obviously not Deep Purple, but there's some overlap here with Ritchie Blackmore and Ronnie James Dio. I'm going to go through a little bit of a story here, but yeah, and I've come to enjoy Black Sabbath a little later in life because at the time I just didn't. When I was a teenager, when you really start to discover music, it just wasn't really my thing, and I was only really familiar with the Ozzy stuff. I had the Paranoid album, which was all right, but it just wasn't my bag. And so then my first introduction to Ritchie. So then my first introduction to Ronnie Dio was through Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow. I was a big Deep Purple fan. And so this was the first album I heard him sing on, and I loved it. But this isn't about Rainbow. This is about this Black Sabbath live album. And I find, to put Ronnie James Dio, for me, into perspective, and Black Sabbath, what he took to Black Sabbath and beyond into a solo career, it's really, it really comes from what he and Ritchie Blackmore collaborated on and what they came up with in Rainbow. And Rainbow Long Live Rock and Roll is my favorite Rainbow album by far. I know Rainbow Rising is the one that a lot of metal fans like and a lot of Rainbow fans prefer, but I prefer Long Live Rock and Roll. Anyway, this sound that he took and the sense of melody and the style, which was a collaboration between him and Ritchie, I feel, he took into Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, and Mob Rules, and these are really, really great records. And like I said at the time too, I wasn't into Black Sabbath. In my younger years, I had been an altar boy. Now I'm a bit of a prolapse Catholic at this point. But back in the day, I wasn't particularly angry, and I thought, oh, well, this is just kind of unpleasant stuff. You know what I mean? But it's rock, and I love it. I love it now. Anyway, not about these two albums either. So yeah, here's Live Evil Super Deluxe. It arrived yesterday. Kind of torn already. I just want to rip this off. But I'm going to use my knife. Now I'm also going to put this on my other channel. I'll do like a edited down version of just the highlights. Because I'm sure there will be many, many highlights from this video. Okay, so just going to take my trusty X-Acto knife along here. I probably don't need this, but I like this. It's a bit of a hot day here in Halifax. Coming up on, well, I'm off today. It's the Victoria Day weekend. And so I was going to do this last night, but a friend and I went out for supper, and we went to Chain Yard, and they have really good cider. And I ended up having a bunch of cider, and I was really in no shape to be operating an X-Acto knife at that point. But anyway, let's open this up. Get rid of the plastic. So I was watching, there's another video on the other day, because I haven't seen a lot of these top-down unboxings of this particular set, in vinyl in any case. I was watching one the other day, and I think it was the packaging designer. he did quite a thorough walkthrough. And in any case, he referred to this, I think, as an outlay. Maybe that's what it was. In any case, the technical term for this. But this has the track listings and, made in Germany, all that jazz there, because the back of the box doesn't include any of that. He said he could frame this. I can't imagine framing it. But anyway, let's flip this over. So you have this really good, it's a fun cover. It's a fun cover indeed. So this was the album that sort of was the straw that broke the camel's back, is my understanding, for Ozzy and Black Sabbath. I think they had been strained relations anyway, but nobody was particularly happy with this mix. So the first thing in the box that I come across is this nice hardcover book. I can flip through this all, holding my fingerprints. But yeah, so I'll be reading this and blasting the albums. And my wife is out of town, so this is a perfect time to listen to Sabbath. She'll humor me with Led Zeppelin, she likes Led Zeppelin, but she'll humor me with my Deep Purple fixation. But she typically draws the line at Sabbath, just not her thing. So I get to enjoy this. But yeah, so this is good. Yeah, so you get to the sense, there's the book. Next up is a replica of the tour program. And yeah, these were a thing. I remember going to a couple concerts in my young days. Jeez. Even hockey games. I remember going to the Metro Center to see the Nova Scotia Voyageurs. And I think I had a program. Must have been something that just sold for the season. Because I can't imagine them putting one out for each hockey game. But yeah, so excellent. Next up is a poster. I'm not going to fold that out because this is a small space and I would be probably wrinkling it. So I'll set that aside. So I'll get rid of the box. The box set contains the original live album, as any Sabbath fan would know, as well as the remixed version of this. So, also based on the unboxing I watched the other day. I wish I could remember the name of it. It was Music. Music was in the name of the channel. They said that because there has been some discussion on sourcing the tracks and how on the original album they don't list the dates, but on this one they did. But he was just saying that they listed the dates because when they got the tracks to remix, the dates were attached to it, so they just put them on here. Yeah. So, original album. I'm not going to pull them all out here, but you can see I love the polyline sleeves. Look at that. Nice and flat. Kind of like my personality. But yeah, so we have this. And then I'm still waiting for the an update on Born Again. I hope they put out a big box of that because, of course, what with Gillan, there must be some live recordings. I mean, how could they not? That was like a lineup. Well, this was a lineup too, but to have Ian Gillan in the band, that was a bit of a change of pace for them. So you would think they would have documented it. Yeah, and this is the remixed version. And I'll bring this out, just in case the record looks different. No, it's pretty much black and flat. So, put this in here. And so I'm thinking of doing a Deep Purple News Roundups. I've seen those on a couple channels, and they're pretty entertaining. So there's not a lot of Deep Purple YouTube channels. You've got the podcast, and I mean, they seem like really nice guys. I'm never in agreement on anything with them on their takes. So yeah, just putting this back together. So I think what I might go to, because I got to beef up the content. I think I put 2 videos on this channel in a year, so I should try to get that up to at least quarterly. So perhaps some news updates would be good. So there you go. The Live Evil Super Deluxe box set. Talk to you later.